League. We now commence the formal part of the evening with our inductions. The great Michael Jordan, the basketballer, said, "Some people want it to happen, some people wish it would happen, and others make it happen." When we enjoy the achievements this evening of the inductees, it is quite clearly evident that all 7 of these individuals, just like Michael Jordan, they made it happen. We now move into our first inductee. It is with great pleasure that I announce that the first inductee in the 2025 Ovens and Murray Football Netball League Hall of Fame from Cora Rutherglen is Carl Dickins.
Carl Dickens' career started at Oaklands in 1989 when he played in a premiership team alongside his dad and 2 uncles as a 15-year-old. The following season he joined Cora Rutherglen and forced his way into the senior team after only 1 reserves match. 2 years later, in 1992, the Roos won their way into a grand final for the first time since the club had merged in 1989. The charge into the grand final against Wodonga was helped along by the emergence of a group of Cora Rutherglen youngsters that included Dickens and Damien Houlihan, who joined Collingwood the following year. Dickens then headed north to play in Queensland before returning to play in the Ovens and Murray for Wodonga Raiders, where former Cora Rutherglen coach Jim Silvestro was at the helm. However, he made his way back to the John Ford Oval, where he would become one of the competition's top-line midfielders. Uncompromising, tough and fearless were the enduring qualities that Carl Dickens carried through his career in the Ovens and Murray. Dickens won his first Best and Fairest in 1998 and 2 years later repeated the feat in a star-studded lineup that would finally end the club's premiership drought when Cora Rutherglen defeated North Albury by 108 points in the 2000 Grand Final. Houlihan produced an unforgettable 10-goal performance, but Dickens was right behind him in the Roos' best players in a famous win. Dickens had a great on-field rapport with ruckman Brendan Ayres that would come to the fore again in 2003 when Cora Rutherglen recovered from a disastrous start to win another flag. Carl Dickens, an outstanding player, a dual Best and Fairest winner and a dual premiership player with his Cora Rutherglen club, is such a great fit into the Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame.
For a very humble man and a quiet man, what a wonderful achievement. I spoke to many people at the Cora Rutherglen Footy Club and a few of Raiders, and I can tell you, Bo Longmire told me, and Bo's overseas at the moment, but he said, "You're probably the most respected footballer there was during his time at Cora." Brendan Ayres told me that pound for pound, you're the best footballer he's ever seen in the O&E. So for a humble man who doesn't like public speaking, but we've heard in the video that you started at Oaklands as a 14-year-old, then you went on to Corowa, to Queensland, back to Raiders and Cots. So I'd just like you to share, if you could, a little bit about that journey of coming in from Oaklands to Corowa and then heading off to Queensland and coming back. So people are certainly interested in your journey.
Yeah, thank you. First off, before we get into that, I'd just like to thank the Ovens and Murray, congratulate all the other inductees. Yeah, the journey from Oaklands into, I think it was 89. As a 15-year-old, I played with the old man and my uncle, both uncles, and my cousin as well. He was 16, so that was a good effort. And then, I was playing cricket out of Rennie actually, and I was heading into, and Rennie's in the Yarra comp sort of thing, and I was heading into Yarra and a train run into Yarra, and anyway, lo and behold, I was just training and everything. I didn't know this was happening, but John Elmore was looking in the car park out there, spying on the sort of thing, and I was talking to Joe Gibson, and I was going to sign on with Yarra, and John Elmore just rang Joe Gibson and said, if you fucking sign Carl Dickens, I'm going to give Dennis Gibbs a checkbook. So anyway, so I ended up going over to Cora, all my mates never at Cora, so I ended up going to Cora, thanks to John. And then, yeah.
John Elmore's got a bit to blame for this thing. So, who did you play for when you went to Queensland? I guess you're only up there for a short period of time.
I went up there because there was bad circumstances for the family, and I went up there for 2 years. We ended up playing in the grand final against Kedron Grange at the time, and Jenny Dickens played for Kedron Grange, and we ended up getting beaten by him. Couldn't get past him. So, and then next year I come back and got beat up by the bouncers in Queensland, pretty bad. And I was in a bad way, and suddenly come home, sat in the old girl's shed and that for 3 months to heal up, and then Jimmy Silvestro got the whiff of it and ended up going and following Jimmy up to Redonda Raiders and had a good time up there. And I'll tell you a story. Well, they signed me on, Redonda Raiders signed me on, and Jake Kowalski goes to me, he goes, you know, I couldn't get the train, so I didn't have a car and whatever, so Jake Kowalski gives me the car to get the train, and then fucking then broke down the first day.
It was probably one of Paul Spargo's cars, wasn't it?
Redonda Raiders, they debut, Spargo ended up beating us in the first room, like kicked 6 on me actually. Anyway, so that worked out pretty good, but Redonda Raiders went back to Cairo.
Now, I spoke to Peter Tossell, and Peter has the utmost respect for you as an individual and certainly as a footballer, and I remember, because I saw a lot of your footy anyway, but he said you were the sort of guy that could ignite the crowd. You're a fan favourite. They always went silly when he was near the boundary. You took no prisoners, you played it really hard. And I want to know, and I think Peter would like to know, what it is that drove you to be almost suicidal with the way that you attacked the footy.
I was a crowd favourite because it was the Saturday night, not the Saturday. Peter was, I loved playing footy, and I went out there to play my best, and the rest took after itself.
Well, Brendan Ayres told me that you had this wonderful relationship as centre and utility player, and I spoke to him the other day and I said, well, what was the message? He said there wasn't any, it was just a wicket or an I knew. So what was it about the telephone between the two of you that, again, Peter told me that you were probably the best centre combination he's ever seen?
Yeah, well, one of the reasons why I'm up here is because of Brendan. We had a really good communication, but we trained during the week, and everyone's got the clock and all that, 3 whatever, we just try and put it down to something else, like our favourite or whatever, and we just knew where to go, and at circumstances during the game, we knew what had to be done, sort of things, where to go, where to run, whatever.
Yeah,
he was the reason why I'm up here, and I felt sorry for him every Saturday. After the game, I cruise in there, man, I'd be out there, have a shower, get in there, get pissed. By the time he'd get in there, I'd be pissed, he'd be iced up and like this. But I take my hat off to him, I didn't get much recognition to Brendan, but he gave his heart every time he went out there, and you knew what you were going to get. You were going to get a 50-50, just going to drop, whatever. But he was a great kick at goal. We had one thing in common, we were both great kicks at goal. Right. But Brendan thought he was really good, and I thought, oh shit, so, no, he's a great bloke, Brendan, and I still get along. We see the boys down at playing hit the golf and whatever, just, get along with him. He's a great family and good bloke.
Yeah, I guess it won't be that far away that we'll see Brendan up here himself. So you said in an article a couple of weeks ago at the press conference that you were frightened playing against the likes of Steve Murph, the big ruckman. I saw Steve today, and he said to say hello. But I can tell you that you frightened the daylights out of some of your teammates and your competition. But I'd like you to share the story about how you got your nickname.
Yeah, I was only 3 years old, and we used to live in, same time I've been in West Australia, we used to live in Collie, and I used to live with all the black holes. And I used to get all the bins and that, when they fill the bins up and put it out of the street, whatever, I used to go and throw it out and then get in there and hide there, and they come out and I jump out and steer. So they used to call me Austin the Grouch, Sesame Street. So anyway, I got a little bit older and that, whatever, so I also become Ocker, like an Australian Ocker, like, I used to swear a hell of a lot, I still do. And you just done Ocker after that.
Right, excellent. And that, I think it was your auntie.
Yeah.
For a really tough man that played it pretty hard, you've mellowed a bit in your later years, and I heard a story the other day that this brave, tough footballer is now an umpire. Tell me about that.
Oh, I haven't been doing it very long, but one of my mates is coaching the under-12s at Cora, and I saw it on an umpire, and they rang us up, and I fucking love it. I've only been doing it about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I really enjoyed it, like the little kids giving band, and all that. Yeah, that was you checked a little trip, man. Honestly, there's some talent about it, mate.
Wonderful. I'll hand the mic over to some people that you'd like to thank, so you give me that one and I'll swap you, and you can...
Righto. I said to the girls, I said, I won't swear tonight, I won't swear. And I said, well, I'm nervous as fuck, already. Anyway, well, here we go. First of all, I congratulate President John Elway. I told you about the story of that, John. John is part of the reason why I'm here through Corowa. I wouldn't have went to Corowa if it wasn't for John. I respect the man as a businessman and after, like, not just through footy and whatever, he's sort of just a great bloke, and yeah, thank God you did it, John, thank you. Brian Moynihan, Rod Campbell. The footy club wouldn't be without these two blokes, and 2000 premiership was probably, we played it, they probably won it, they recruited, they done all the hard work, behind doors and whatever, and these two blokes have helped me, not just through footy, well, when I signed on for Mildura, I was just 10 grand signed on fee, mate. I don't even been in the fucking Mildura, and I went and spent the 10 grand in the casino that day. So, and then I got me out all this other shit, whatever, so I really take my hat off to Brian and Rod. Popeye and T-Bone Livingston, they were my supporters, best fans and whatever, I love you, thank you. Supporters, the old ladies that used to sit on the fence at Corowa, Mrs. Longmire, Mr. Lane, Helen Pierce, there's a few others. Sorry if I missed you or whatever. Them ladies, mate, I could keep one possession, mate, and I'd still be a hero when I come off with these ladies. They just said, go or whatever. So I thank them. The coaches started off with Stevie Wade Opens. Mate, he had me through since I was, 5 till about 11 and that. And he used to be really hard on me, but I really appreciate what this bloke done for me with my footy career. He used to make me, tie me hand behind my back and misuse me opposite all the time and but Stevie, thank you, Stevie. Jim Silvestro, Marty King, Morningside. Yeah, it was great up there, Marty. I wish I was still there, but it was circumstances, whatever. Peter Tossell, this bloke is an amazing bloke, amazing person, amazing family, Pete. Thank you very much, but I just want to get this, you still never asked me you still never give me an answer to the questions that I always used to ask you. You go, you've got to train like you play on Saturday. I said, all right, then, no worries. And people, why the fuck do we train at night and we play during the day? Anyway, still waiting, Pete. These are the best players that I could just put down. That I played against Robbie Walker, the GOAT, Jared Trick, Tim Scott, and there's many more. Every bloke that I played against was a champion. They always made it hard for you, that sort of thing. I respect the league. The best players that I played with, Dennis Sandra, when I was out at Dickins, he used to live just up the road, just a little town, just out of it, whatever. And he was playing State of Origin, and I just really idolised Dennis Sandra. He was playing State of Origin, and they didn't believe still playing Owens Murray, and I sort of wanted to be like Dennis Sandra, and then we ended up playing 1 year at Dennis, and I had a bird's eye view of watching the best contest, best clash, or a one-on-one clash that I've ever seen. Owens Murray was Robbie Walker and Dennis Sandra, so thank you, Dennis. Craig Tapp, great. Juicy, he's my best mate, one of my best mates when we were playing footy, and we got up to some mischief, and God bless him up there, Juicy, and David T, Tony Gaffer, that I played with, and every single teammate that I played with, otherwise I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't kick to me, but I ain't Jock McFarlane, sorry. It's like one last thing, it's like to thank my friends, all the tables over there, you know who you are, you always mean something to me, you just wouldn't be here if you didn't. My sisters, God help me, what I put you through and everything like that, I wouldn't be but anyway. Mate, you know how much I love you, don't have to go into this, whatever it is in my world. Mum seen every game, and Mum was pretty well level-headed. So I finished the game, I go, how do I go, Mum? And she, I thought I went alright, I thought I had 30, whatever, row. And she goes, you fucking mate, yeah. Oh, then go back again, try again, how'd you go today, mate? I thought I went like shit, she goes, easy, mate, I don't like that. So she wasn't much of a judge, but anyway. My two daughters, I love you to death. My wife, yeah, she's everything. And me and my daughters had a bit of a competition at home. We they won league medals and all that. They give it in and go, Dad, you ever won league medals and best and fairest and all that? Well, guess what, girls?
99 games, a couple of best and fairest, a couple of premierships, best and fairest in a premiership team. Played for Raiders, played for Cairo, played in Queensland, coached Hilton for a while. He's mellowed and now he's an umpire. What an amazing career, Carl. Congratulations and well done on your induction. He didn't want to be first either. He said, I'll be too nervous. I think we've set the tone, bud.